Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Movie Mockery. I'm your host, Billy, and today we're going to dig into the MCU. So, recently I've been doing an MCU rewatch, and that got me thinking about how I would change phases 4 through 6 of the MCU. Currently, they're not running as coherently as a story as we got in the Infinity Saga, so I started wondering to myself, how would I change that? What would I do? So today, I'm going to bring to you guys my revised version of the Multiverse Saga. So we're going to start out with Phase 4. So first up, Phase 4, just like it is, we're going to start with Black Widow. Now, I know a lot of people complain about Black Widow because it came a bit too late. It came after the character died, so it really was kind of late timing, but this will perfectly set up what ends Phase 4 for me, so I'm going to keep Black Widow exactly where it came out, and the movie's going to remain pretty much the same. Next, coming out, exactly like reality, Shang-Chi. It's going to be the exact same. We're going to have the same post-credit scene. We're still going to be leading up to Kang. In my timeline, obviously, real life, Jonathan Majors, crazy stuff happened. So in my fictional universe, they either casted someone different. Jonathan Majors didn't have controversy. Whether they casted somebody like Coleman Domingo, John Boyega, any of those guys. But we will be keeping that credit scene to tease Kang. So Shang-Chi is the second movie in Phase 4. And now is where we get a bit different. I have no Eternals in this saga. They really don't fit in. The only thing they bring in is the Celestial coming out of Earth, but again, that can be replaced with other things farther down the line. So, next up, we're going to have the Scarlet Witch movie, which is going to be a lot like the WandaVision show, but in my timeline, we aren't doing shows. We're just doing all movies, keep it a bit more consistent. It's going to be a lot like the show, except obviously you don't have the episodic nature of it, so it's going to be just more the alternate reality that Wanda creates to have her kids, to have Vision back, and then we'll have Agatha as the villain in there, but this is just to set up Wanda becoming the villain, but it'll be mainly the same, except we don't really have it in an episode way. It's just that that kind of reality she creates. So same sort of premise, different way of doing it. Next up, we have the Hawkeye movie, which is a lot like the show, but as a movie. So you introduce Kate Bishop, you have Wilson Fisk in there, you have Echo in there. Even though Echo never gets her own thing, it'll be cool just to have that character in there. So it's going to be basically the same as the show, but make it a movie, make it a Christmas movie. Just like it's basically a Christmas show, make it a Christmas movie. After that, we're going to have Captain America Legacy, which is going to be Falcon and the Winter Soldier as a movie. So you're still going to have the Flag Smashers, you're still going to have John Walker, you're still going to have Zemo, but it's going to be a movie now. So it's Sam Wilson, dealing with the legacy of Captain America and what he wants to do with that. John Walker becoming Captain America, eventually becoming a U.S. agent. So this also teases John Walker, which is important for the way I'm ending this phase. I also want to mention that I want a post-credit scene to tease the leader, because it kind of feels like we just got him out of nowhere in Brave New World. So I want him to be teased now. Tease him at the end of Captain America Legacy. Also, throw in a Ross cameo. General Ross cameo. Whether you still had to recast him as Harrison Ford or keep William Hurt if he didn't die in this reality. Throw in a Ross cameo. And so that brings us to the big team-up movie of Phase 4, Thunderbolts, which we don't know how that movie is going to be yet, so here's my idea. Basically, it's going to seem how they're putting it together. They're going to fight Sentry. Sentry will be the villain. Taskmaster will die, which it seems like that's going to be happening in the real movie based on trailer footage. I'm also going to be killing off Ghost in this version, just because Ghost really isn't that developed of a character. And it's just kind of an extra teammate in there, so you can kill off Ghost. And also, Bucky's going to die in mine. But it'll be revealed in a post-credit scene that Bucky was actually a Skrull, and has been a Skrull now for a little while since after Endgame. So Bucky will have been revealed to be a Skrull for a little while, which will be important later. But you'll think Bucky's dead, but he's not. And then we're going to end Phase 4 with Thor Love and Thunder, which will be somewhat like the movie we got, just taken more seriously. Obviously, the movie deals with topics like cancer. It deals with a villain who literally is butchering the gods. So the movie will be taken more seriously, but still a lot of the same sort of premise with Gore the God Butcher. But the movie will end with Thor returning back to Earth, to New Asgard, and he will become King of Asgard. I think that's a good way to end his arc. And then it'll kind of be treated as like an end to the Thor saga. He'll still appear later in later movies, but it doesn't set up for any future Thor movies. There's no Hercules cameo at the end. This is just kind of a good conclusion to Thor's story. So then that brings us to the start of Phase 5. And Phase 5 will begin with Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which will be basically the same movie. It's going to be the same movie. It's going to deal with the death of Chadwick. Obviously, that's something that happened in real life, and that's something that'll stay in this consistency. So that movie's basically going to be the same. It's going to set up Shuri as the next Black Panther. It'll set up Ironheart. It'll set up Namor. And so that movie's going to be the same, basically untouched. Next up, we're going to have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, this movie's basically going to be pretty much the same, except now it takes place before Spider-Man No Way Home. So Doctor Strange is just learning about the multiverse in this movie. But it'll be basically the same. And then there'll also be a credit scene, though, in this one now that teases Spider-Man No Way Home. So, whole new credit scene. We don't have a tease to Clea yet in this one. She won't be introduced yet. But it will tease Spider-Man No Way Home. And also we're going to get rid of that weird third eye that he has at the end of the movie. We don't need that. We don't need that. That's weird. But, so yeah, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Next movie we're going to get is another TV show turned to movie, and that's Miss Marvel. Now, I feel like you could change the premise of it. I didn't like as much of the time travel stuff going on in there. But make it a movie, make it her origin story, make it a classic origin story movie. Tease a bit with the Bengals, because obviously those were supposed to tie to Kang if we kept going to Kang Dynasty. So tease some more with the Bengals, because I'm going to eventually lead to Kang. And then also tease Secret Invasion in the post-credit scene. Tease Secret Invasion somehow. We'll get to that later. So, the next movie up is Captain America, Brave New World, which actually I loved that movie. I thought that movie was fun. I loved getting to watch that in theaters. It was cool seeing Sam Wilson as Captain America. So, this movie will be mostly the same, but it'll tease Secret Invasion rather than Secret Wars in the end credits scene. So, you have the end credits scene in the new one where it's the leader teasing Secret Wars. Now he's going to be teasing Secret Invasion. And obviously you won't have the one cameo in there of Bucky. We won't have that anymore because it was revealed that Bucky was a Skrull, so he won't have that cameo in there now because the Skrull version of Bucky died. And so the other Bucky is still being held somewhere else because he had a replacement. But so it's mainly going to be the same movie. You'll still have Giancarlo Esposito in there as Sidewinder. You'll still have the leader. You'll still have Red Hulk. It's going to be mainly the same movie, except now it teases more of Secret Invasion. And then next up, we're going to have Spider-Man No Way Home, which is basically going to be the same movie. You've got Peter Parker, the multiverse, except now the end credit scene, instead of just being a teaser trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we'll get an actual post-credit scene that teases what's to come with Doctor Strange in the future and what he'll be doing, which we'll get to later, but it teases Doctor Strange 3. And so then we come to the next big team-up movie, and that is Avengers Secret Invasion. So, here's everybody that I have that is going to be a Skrull, revealed to be a Skrull. So obviously, you'll have Fury and Hill, who were revealed way back in the Multiverse Saga. But you'll also have Hope Van Dyne, M'Baku, Sharon Carter, you'll have Hank and Janet Van Dyne, and then multiple S.H.I.E.L.D. agents will be revealed to be Skrulls. Obviously, Bucky was revealed to be a Skrull in the post-credit season. Darcy will be revealed to be a Skrull. And so those will be all the Skrulls. Those people will be Skrulls. Most of them have had a role in the past movies, so then it's kind of the Skrulls have been there through these past movies. It's good build-up. So obviously the movie will be them battling the Skrulls, having to free the captured people who were turned into Skrulls. And this will introduce the new Avengers, Sam Wilson's new team, which was teased in Brave New World. So Sam Wilson will assemble the new Avengers. They'll have to fight the Skrulls. Avengers will win. It'll be, stereotypical Avengers movie. And then post-credit scene, we'll get a big Kang tease. Because at this point, we really haven't had much of Kang yet. It's been leading up to Secret Invasion, and now we'll really get our big Kang tease. So then we'll end off Phase 5 with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which will be basically the same. It'll be a good send-off for the Guardians. You'll have Peter Quill returning to Earth in the end, but that'll be the same movie. That movie was great. I'm not going to touch that one. It's a great send-off, so that movie remains the same. Then we start with Phase 6. So Phase 6 will start off with the Marvels. It's going to be pretty much the same as it was before, except now we're going to have references to Secret Invasion. So you're going to get the same sort of stuff happening because of the Bangles, which obviously leads into more Kang teases. Bangles will have references to Kang, everything like that. But it's pretty much going to be the same silly movie. Maybe make it a bit more serious, but I enjoyed that one being just a fun little side adventure with Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Photon. And then obviously we'll keep in the post-credit tease that it keeps where Monica gets sent to another reality and you see Beast there. So that'll tease more of the multiverse. We'll get a Kang tease, but mainly that movie will be the same. Then we get another TV show turned movie, and that is Loki. So this movie will be somewhat of 2 seasons mixed into one movie. So you'll get Loki arriving at the TVA, the antics with Sylvie. You'll see them go to the Void, and then they meet He Who Remains. And so that'll be a big Kang tease. And then it will happen where they end up killing him, and we'll see Loki go back. And the whole third act will be a lot of what Season 2 was, except taking out some of the stuff with Victor Timely. We're going to take out a lot of that, but we'll see everything collapsing in, and Loki becoming the god of stories. So the whole movie will just be a build-up to Loki becoming the god of stories. They kill He Who Remains, which is unleashes Kang, basically. Unleashes the dynasty. So this movie will incorporate stuff from both seasons into one movie, but it'll be a really big setup to what's to come with the multiverse. After that, we're going to get Shang-Chi in the Wreckage of Time. Now, this is a movie a lot of people liked the idea of, a lot of people talked about, even though it was never announced, where it could tie into Kang, because obviously post-credits of Shang-Chi talk about his rings being connected to Kang. So this movie will be kind of like what Ant-Man and the Wasp was, but slightly different. Shang-Chi will get stuck down in the quantum realm. He'll be in a time loop with Kang, and with Kang trying to get the rings. It'll be him stuck in the quantum realm. There'll be time loops. It'll just be like it's almost kind of like a sci-fi type adventure. By the end of the movie, Kang will be able to get the rings from Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi will get stranded in another universe. But the post-credit scene will tease him being able to send out a signal to the Avengers, and that's where it'll end. So it ends with Kang gets their 10 rings, Shang-Chi stranded in another universe, and he's able to send out a distress signal. So then we get Doctor Strange in the Incursions of Insanity. And this is mainly Doctor Strange investigating the incursions, investigating what's been going on. We get Clea introduced in this movie. Obviously, that leads into more stuff with Dormammu in the Dark Dimension. But in this movie, Doctor Strange will find out about Kang, find out about his plan, find out what's going on. And this will be a huge tease for what's to come in the Kang Dynasty. And this is when incursions start to destroy universes, and Doctor Strange starts to see it happen in this movie. And he starts to get worried, and by the end of the movie, like Shang-Chi, he gets stranded in a separate universe. So currently you have three different heroes stranded in universes. You've got Photon in that universe with Beast at the end of the Marvels, Shang-Chi stranded in our universe at the end of his movie, and now Doctor Strange stranded in a universe at the end of his movie. So you've got people across all universes at this point in the series, really leading into what's going to be with the multiverse. Next, we're going to get an Otherworlds movie, and that is Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, obviously, this will be just like the movie we got. You'll still get the references to the TVA, the Void, but this won't take place in the main consistency of the MCU. This is just showing a storyline outside of the MCU while still tying into the MCU. Basically exactly what we got I'm not changing much in this movie. This will be pretty much the exact same movie. Next, we're going to get The Spectacular Spider-Man, which will be just a street-level Spider-Man movie. Kind of thing everybody wants. Just sets him up as a new hero. Very simple story. You'll have Daredevil. You'll have Kingpin. You'll have Scorpion as one of the main villains. Kate Bishop will be in it. Echo will be in it. All these street-level heroes in this street-level movie. And you'll just kind of get to see Spider-Man be Spider-Man. The Spider-Man we had in the comics. That's what we'll get in this movie. Kingpin, by the end of the movie, will become mayor of New York City. And by the end of the movie, we'll have a bigger tease to the black suit. Whether that's Tom Holland interacting with the symbiote or just a tease. But it will tease Black Suit Spider-Man because we'll get that by the time Secret Wars comes out in the future. But anyway, the next movie is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which will be a very serious movie. So you've got the two goofy Ant-Man movies, Ant-Man and the Wasp. This will be the serious Ant-Man movie. It will really establish Kang as a threat. You'll still have MODOK. He'll be much more serious, though, and by the end of the movie, he'll be killed by Ant-Man. By the end of the movie, though, Kang will win. He will outsmart Scott, and he will escape the quantum realm. And by the end of the movie, Ant-Man thinks he's trapped inside, but he's able to get out of the quantum realm. And then the big stinger to end the movie, by the time he gets back up to Earth, he will be in a planet that is ruled by Kang. Because of the rules we learned in Endgame about, 1 hour in the quantum realm being 1 year on Earth, by the time he's out of there, it's too late. Kang has taken over the world, and that'll be a huge tease for our next movie, which will be Avengers: Kang Dynasty. So this movie will start around the end time of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So you'll see Kang entering our world to start the movie, and he'll be hunting for the bangles. So it'll be a lot like Infinity War, where there's a MacGuffin, except instead of hunting for the Infinity Stones, he'll be hunting for Miss Marvel and her bangles. About midway through the movie, he'll end up getting them and taking over the world with his power. And obviously you get the Avengers fighting him, and then we'll have points in the movie where they'll find Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, and then Doctor Strange will warn them of the incoming incursions with other universes. Suddenly, at the end of the movie, it's kind of like that big moment we got in Infinity War, everybody was snapped, but now it's multiple universes start colliding. So you see X-Men come in, you see Fantastic Four come in, you see Deadpool and Wolverine. You start to see all these universes coming together at the end of the movie. And then at the very end of the movie, you get Doom walking up to Kang to join forces. And this is the ending of the movie, the big stinger at the end, where you have them together, about to work together. And the movie ends showing a new combined world filled with heroes, that being Battleworld. So you've got this giant combined world because of incursions, and the movie ends. So, and then the post-credits will tease the brand new Fantastic Four, which leads right into the next movie, Fantastic Four. Now, I don't know why they're calling it First Steps. There'll probably be a reason, but in this, we're just calling it Fantastic Four. So this will be an origin story for the Fantastic Four, same casting that they have right now. They'll have a battle with Galactus. Doom will be throughout the movie, Victor Von Doom. And this is also introducing Doom, but by the end of the movie, they'll get sucked into Battleworld because of the incursions. Doom will have turned bad by the end of the movie. And we will see Doom and Kang together in the post-credit scene. This will take place after their meeting in Kang Dynasty. They'll be working together at this point, talking about plans. But this will kind of show origin of the Fantastic Four, how they got into Battleworld, and tease more of Kang and Doom together. And so then it leads to the big movie, Avengers: Secret Wars. Now, Avengers: Secret Wars will be in a battle world controlled by Kang and Doom, and it'll be them forcing heroes to fight for their survival, for their world's survivals. And so, while you have all these fighting, big cameo characters, smaller actors playing Avengers, playing other characters in background fights, it'll also follow our main Avengers from the main universe sneaking through Battleworld to try to get to Kang and Doctor Doom to stop this. So they're avoiding fights, but they get caught up in fights with cameo characters, with random characters, and they're just traversing Battleworld trying to get to the big bad. So eventually, about halfway through the movie, they're able to get to Kang, and they have a big fight with Kang. And right as they're about to overpower Kang and stop what's going on, Doctor Doom kills Kang, and he takes control of everything. So eventually, the Avengers, after this, they're exiled by Doom somewhere completely different on the planet, away from him. He's still controlling Battleworld. And eventually, they're able to get out a rallying cry and get all of these heroes on this world to fight Doom. Now, Doom will still have his crew. We'll have villains from other universes all working for Doom at this point. He'll have an army. And so that's when we get a big fight between the Avengers and Doctor Doom. So then, by the end of the battle, Doctor Strange has to make an ultimate sacrifice, which kills Doom, which takes out his army. But then we still have the problem at the end of incursions and what's going to happen. Will everybody die? And that's when, teased in an earlier movie, coming back, Loki, the god of stories, comes out, and he's able to merge all of these worlds into one and basically save everybody so everybody can live in harmony on Battleworld Reformed as a new planet. And this is what will become Universe 616, our main movie universe. So you have the X-Men, you have the Fantastic Four, you have the Avengers, you have everybody now in this one world because Loki, the god of stories, was able to join everything together. Also throughout this movie, I want to point out some other characters that I have dying. Thor will die in a heroic sacrifice. You'll have Rhodey die at one point in a battle. And Ant-Man will die. These are all characters that I feel like have been in for a while, who deserve a good ending, because they've just been in it for so long. They deserve a good ending to their characters. So this would be a great movie to kill off some of those characters because we have new blood coming in. And then the credits of this movie will tease the new Avengers, which will have otherworld heroes. So you'll have a new actor, maybe as Iron Man, new actor as some older characters who have died. But it will tease a new Avengers group. And so that's how that movie will end. So it'll end, Loki brings the worlds together, and then the new Avengers form. So then, to end the Multiverse Saga, we end with Captain America Fallout. And this will complete Sam Wilson's Captain America trilogy. So you'll have a bunch of people displaced. In this movie, Sam Wilson's helping all these people, just trying to do his goodwill. And then while this is happening, a character who wasn't killed earlier, still around now, and finally is able to bring some plans to life. Sidewinder comes back, Giancarlo Esposito comes back, and starts wreaking havoc, taking advantage of this world that's in ruin, that's in a depression state because people are misplaced. So he's coming around, he's causing chaos. It's like a Serpent Society sort of stuff going on. So Captain America has to deal with that. Bucky will also be a main character in this movie, fighting with Sam. So you'll have Sam, Bucky, Falcon, Sidewinder as the main villain. By the end of the movie, he will kill Sidewinder in a fight, and Sam will be still doing his goodwill, helping people. So this will be a very down-to-earth Captain America film, just basic government conspiracy stuff that we usually get, except now it's with the Serpent Society, and it'll just be a very grounded story for what we just had with all of the multiverse. And so by the end of the movie, the world has a new hope, and everything seems good again. And then we'll get the final post-credit scene of the Multiverse Saga, teasing the meeting of Sam Wilson and a younger Charles Xavier. So that's what I have for the Multiverse Saga. Let me know if you want to hear. I have sort of a plan written out for what I kind of want with the next saga, which I have titled The Mutant Saga. So if you enjoyed this, let me know. Let me know if you want more MCU stuff, because I enjoy the MCU, so let me know if you enjoy hearing me talk about it. But that being said, guys, have a good week.